Welcome to the first episode of Living Truthfully. My name is Amani, and I'm a father. Used to be a husband, an entrepreneur, communicator, built a career in advertising, in communication, marketing, and event management, and also dabbling a bit in entertainment. Now, I started this podcast to just talk about life, talk about the things that are on my mind, share my experiences, my thoughts, and hopefully be able to help someone clarify theirs. So I want to talk about healing through acceptance. And that is an important topic for me because this is very current for me. I'm going through a process of healing, and healing especially through acceptance of my choices, acceptance of who I am, and acceptance of the path that has gotten me to where I am today. So let me start with where I am today. I'm divorced. That was a painful experience. Still recovering from it. But I've also lost a good business. One that at one point at its peak employed 12 people. People that have gone on to make good of their careers. But the loss of a business is very much like the loss of a baby, because you sort of start it and nurture it. And so any death of a business is, death of a child. The loss of my marriage was also very similar to the death of a loved one. Even when the loved one has been unwell and you want to end the pain and end the suffering, the loss is still hurtful. And I've gone through hurtful times. Now, granted, I contributed to the loss of the business and I contributed to the loss of my marriage. In fact, I was a catalyst to the loss of my marriage. But what that brought to light for me was the difference between how I view myself and who I really am. See, I was brought up in a good home, with good Christian foundations, and all through my life I've been in leadership. I've been someone that people look up to. I've been a voice that is trusted in society. But then I made choices that have been harmful to that image. But then those choices were hidden, and so not many people saw. So I could see the rot, but not many people could see them. And so the image of who I thought I was, this great guy, was still the image that was held out there. But who I really was hidden and has been hidden. And accepting that I am the same person who's failed in business, same person who messed up his marriage, same people whose hurt his children through that has been hard to accept. So this year I've gone through several experiences, and one of them is called Zindua. Zindua is Swahili for takeoff or launch, to launch something. And it's a study, a 10 module study that helps you, especially if you're in your 30s to mid 40s, to figure out how to take off right in life, so that you can have a better cruise experience when you're in your 50s and 60s. One of the questions we were asked during this experience was to state things that we're grateful for in our lives, and I have many. We were asked to state things that we can change, but we're also asked to state things that, have happened and we cannot change, and we have to live with the consequences of those things. You know what? That's what acceptance is. Acceptance is understanding all that you're made of. The good, the bad, the ugly. And for every one of us, there's some really good things about us. It could be the family that you come from. It could be the friendships that you have. It could be the mind that you have. It could be the education that you got. It could be the talents and the gifts that are resided in you. It could be a great personality. And probably you're blessed with more. And so, let's write down all those things that you have that you're grateful for. And that list should be as long as it can get. Because you really must have a good image of yourself. And a healthy image for me means, accepting all that you've been given. But then write the things that you don't like about you and about your life, and especially the things that you can change. Because then you can start to look at them and say, what do I do about this? So one of the things I'm battling with is my weight. And I went to see a nutritionist yesterday, and he's given me a plan. And I'm hoping that, if I stick to this plan, then I can start to change my metabolism and hopefully start to shed some of the unhealthy weight. That's one of the things that can change. I've made some bad money decisions and have accrued some debt. That is something I can change. I can make a plan. I can earn some money, and I can start to pay off my debt and get to a place where I can start to invest. But then there are some things that you cannot change, and you need to write those down as well and come to a place of acceptance. One of those things is that I'm an adult, man. I can't change that. So I cannot behave like a child and, think that my choices don't have consequences. They do. But 360, the business is gone, and I just have to accept that and start afresh. I'm a divorcee. I've got to accept that and start afresh. I've hurt people. I have to accept that. That was me who hurt those people. And start afresh. It's hard, but it's freeing. Because then you don't have to live up to an image of who you think you might be. But you start to live authentically, embracing yourself, all of yourself. And what's surprising is that you'll find that people around you already knew, and they already accepted you for who you are. So here is a good place to start. Ask yourself, who are you? Who are you really? You're your pain, you're your shadows, you're your strengths, you're your opportunities, you're all your weaknesses. You're all, and you're whole. Embrace yourself. Thank you.